Hi guys, AC here. Welcome to my channel, and I really appreciate you clicking on the link. Today we're going to do a head-to-head comparison. In my last video I reviewed a fragrance by L'Herbolario Lodi called Ginepro Nero. I strongly believe that this is very similar to a very popular fragrance called Terre Hermes, and we're going to do a head-to-head comparison to see how similar they are. I hate calling fragrances clones because it's impossible to create an identical copy of a fragrance. But this one is quite similar, and we're going to evaluate the similarities. So let's start by looking at the bottle. So friends, I wanted to first start by giving you a view of what fragrances look like. This one is actually the EDP concentration. The bottle has a very unique atomizer. You just have to screw this thing clockwise to bring it down. This one is a very straightforward bottle. In terms of presentation, I think Terre Hermes takes the cake, no questions. I'm comparing the EDP version to the EDP version of, I believe Genepro Nero is only released in EDP version. The 50 ml of Genepro Nero cost me 29 euros. This is a 75 ml of the EDP version. It cost me 65 pounds, which would be close to about 72 euros, just to give you a bit of idea on the price. So let's look at the fragrance now and see how they compare. So I'm going to start with first spraying Terre Hermes EDP on my left hand. I've got a dry down on top of my wrist, so I'm going to spray it slightly upwards on my arm. And I'm going to also I've got a dry down on my right hand, top of my wrist, so I'm going to spray a little bit of this further up my arm, just to remind myself about the fragrance. So let's start with Terre Hermes EDP first. How does this open up? So a little bit about this first. Terre Hermes is an absolutely stunning piece of work. It's very popular, and it's a signature scent of a lot of people. A lot of people appreciate this. They use it for work. It is an ideal fragrance for spring and autumn. Some people can carry this in summer too. In my humble opinion, this is a great spring and autumn fragrance. Now, how does this open up? This opens with a blast of citrus, orange, and the best way to describe this is because it's been combined and in the top with some grapefruit and I believe a note of shiso. Now, I have never smelled shiso, but I can tell you how it comes across as. It comes across as a very sharp. It is capable of incising your olfactive senses. In fact, this is the kind of fragrance which can give you olfactive fatigue. It is also hollow. It's not amazingly dense and packed scent. It's a sort of an aqueous, light citrus scent. And let's look at the opening of Ginepro Nero. Ginepro Nero, from the very word, is denser. The reason it's dense is it brings in a sort of it's got citrus, similar kind of citrus, and that's why it reminded me straight away of Terre Hermes. But it's slightly balmy because at the top it uses elemi and grapefruit. Terre Hermes also, you will find, is hollow because it uses a huge percentage of ISO-E. Now, Jean-Claude Ellena has been famous in the industry for using, in Hermes for using aqueous, very fragrances which project quite a bit. ISO-E Super is a vector which helps taking the fragrance molecules and projecting it as far as possible. That's why the hollowness or the light airiness of the fragrance comes from. We're getting towards the middle and the dry down of this fragrance, so we'll get to that in a minute. What I like about L'Herbolario Genepro Nero is it's slightly dense. It's got some brawn, some muscle to the same fragrance DNA, citrus. Towards the middle of the fragrance, this Terre Hermes goes into a slight earthiness. It's vetiver basically. The actual notes, if I remember correctly, say that they use flint notes. If I'm not wrong, flint and woody notes. To my nose, I've worn this quite a bit, as you can see from the usage, but I've never found any woody notes. It's downright earthy, vetiver and citrus notes with lots of isoe super. In fact, if you smell this too much, it'll give you olfactory fatigue, or if you spray too much, it'll give you olfactory fatigue. You will not be able to smell yourself, but others will smell you, because this carries quite a bit. In terms of Ginepro Nero, the middle of the fragrance is the magic. This is where juniper, beautifully done juniper, comes in and gives it that substance. And I really like the way they've done the juniper. And it gives you that, because LME has got this quality which is sort of balmy, medicinal quality, and juniper, as you know, in the Italian culture, is used for energizing purposes, reinvigoration. That's why the fragrance suddenly goes, or the pendulum swings towards Ginepro Nero. It gives you that balmy, citrus feeling with juniper, beautifully done juniper. And towards the end, you will see that it becomes even more earthier. It combines patchouli, and I think it becomes slightly more musky, because it uses primarily patchouli and oak moss to provide you that musky, strong citrus, but same DNA. If you like Terre de Hermes, it's just a brawnier, muscular brother. Terre de Hermes is linear. It will remain the same. It's that earthy orange smell through and through. Sometimes, some days, I also get a little flowery accord, very slight bit of flowery accord in its dry down. Quite enjoy it. But ever since I've got my hands on Genepro Nero, I think Genepro Nero gives a different dimension to this fragrance I already love so much. And that is the slightly brawnier, slightly more muscular version of Terre de Hermes. So that's why I was hesitating to call it a clone. It's just a different take. It's a take I really like, and for the price, you can give it a try. So that was the head-to-head scent comparison. In terms of value for money, I mean, this one does its job. I think it's still overpriced. For 75 ml, it costs you £65. At least it cost me £65. This one, as I said, 29 euros. So a scent that doesn't have too many notes and is not that difficult to manufacture is priced slightly higher. And I'm not even talking about retail prices. These are discounted online prices. So value for money, for me, Genepro Nero takes the cake. In terms of packaging and sort of presentation, you can't beat Terre de Hermes. Beautiful, beautiful glass bottles, solid glass. You can't beat that. But then I'm not a big sucker for bottles and presentation. I love the actual scent, and I like the value for money it gives me. So in terms of do you need both? I don't think so. If you've already got a bottle of Terre de Hermes and you're running low, maybe you should give this a try. You don't need both in your collection. I happen to have both because I ran into this one by accident. I heard from a friend of mine that this is quite a nice citrus fragrance. I started testing it, and the first thing I was reminded of was Terre de Hermes. That's why I've got 2 bottles. Once I run out of my EDP, I'll probably not buy it again, because I think this one is more to my taste. It gives me that additional earthy, brawny, more fulfilling, and more enjoyable. I know both are linear. This one is slightly more enjoyable because it's got more of those notes, slightly less hollow than actually it's not hollow at all as compared to, I mean, here's the dry down. There's virtually hardly any difference between the spray that I have sprayed like 5 minutes ago to the one I had about half an hour ago. And the difference here, as I said, beautiful, beautiful musky dry down. I really like this one. So if I go by my taste, if somebody were to ask me what do I recommend as a summer citrus, Genepro Nero, without a shadow of doubt. This thing actually has improved Terre de Hermes, in my opinion. I don't know if you can get testers to test it. I blind bought this. If you do get a tester, test it out and see for yourself. I think you will enjoy this more. If you like Terre Hermes, but don't quite agree with the hollowness, the longevity. Oh, by the way, performance. The EDP version lasts between 6 to 8 hours, good days and bad days. Yeah, I quite like wearing this in spring and autumn. I don't wear this in summer because of the ISO E Super. I've only tested this in spring and I've given it about 6 wearings. On each wearing, I exceeded more than 8 hours. So fairly and squarely, performance on Genepro Nero is longer. Another thing is sillage. This one is a projection. It's been designed to project. People will smell you. You will also smell or get whiff of this fragrance when you move around fast or move quickly. The fragrance dance, as people call it. This has got, I think, about 2 hours of projection, but sillage is quite strong. You smell this for about 5 to 6 hours, no problems. You don't have to even move. You just sit on your desk and you work away, and suddenly you'll get a little whiff of it, which is quite pleasant, quite nice. So on the performance side, this one does a better job as well. I hope you like the video, and if you do give it a like and do subscribe, and let me know what you think. Take care. AC signing off. Namaste. Bye-bye.